Today I am going to show you how to use the Warmoth custom builders, so stick around. Hey everybody, it is Aaron at Warmoth, and as I said, today I'm going to go over how to use the custom builders on the Warmoth website. The custom neck builders, the custom body builders for both guitar and bass and pickguard for that matter. And at first you would think it's pretty straightforward, but it's really not. Sometimes it's not, and we do often get questions like, you guys have offered neck binding forever and now I can't find it. Why can't I find the neck binding? Or, you know, I'm looking for masked edges on my body and they don't show up. Do you guys not do masked edges anymore? And the thing you have to realize about the custom builders on the Warmoth site is that they are not a la carte. And by that I mean it's not just a list of options that you go through and you just choose the ones you want. They don't work that way. They actually use conditional logic, which means that the choices you make earlier in the process affect the choices that you are shown later in the process. So for example, you might choose option A up here and you get these 4 options, but if you choose option B, then you get these 3 options. Or sometimes it's like double conditional logic, where if you choose option A and B, then you get these, but if you choose option A and C, then you get these 3. If you choose option A and D, then you get these 2. So it gets very tricky to navigate them sometimes and to find the things that you want. So I'm going to go over that today, see if I can resolve some of the mysteries to make it easier to go through and build what you're after. So let's jump over to the builders really quick. And we will start with a Stratocaster replacement body. Go to the builder for that. And we'll just use masked edges for an example, since I've already mentioned that. So let's pick a solid alder body with no lamb top. And I'll just go through here. I've done these builders so many times, I know the quickest route through them. So we'll just go ahead and go through these options really quick until we get down to the bottom, and you'll see that there is no option for binding or masked edges at all. So you might wonder why is there no binding? Why can't I get binding on this? Well, binding and masked edges both require a lamb top. So if you come back up here and pick a lamb top and then scroll back to the bottom, now you'll see binding and edge decorations appears, and natural masked edges are right there. We need to have a lamb top in order to do masked edges, because they use the line of that lamb top as the line for the masked edge. So if you come back up here to the top and get rid of the lamb top, then you'll see that it disappears again, that binding and masked edges are no longer there. If you want an alder body and you don't want a fancy top, you can pick, where is it? Just an alder lamb top. So it's alder with an alder lamb top. The only reason you'd ever want to pick that is if you wanted binding or natural masked edges, or a dark or light accent line. But normally, if you pick no lamb top, again, you don't get those options. I think the place where this is going to show up more is neck. So let's jump over to a neck really quick. And we will do, let's see, Stratocaster replacement neck. And of course, it's going to funnel you through the showcase, but we'll just go straight on through to the builder. And we'll use a lot of the options that you are shown here depend on the construction you choose. So let's say that I want a neck with scallops. So I pick a vintage modern neck, and I'm going to go ahead and go through the builder. I'm just choosing generic options here so I can quickly get down to where scallops would be, but they're not there. There is no option for scallops anywhere. Well, the problem is scallops are only offered on modern construction. So if I choose modern construction and then come down here, now you're going to see scallops. Another thing that throws people off is if they want scallops and binding. Well, scallops and binding are mutually exclusive. You can't have scallops and binding. So if I choose no here, then binding will show up. If I choose scallops, then the only option I have for binding is none. Other options that are dependent on this modern construction are things like, if you come down here to, well, here's another perfect example. Because I chose scallops, I have a very limited fret options. If I want more fret options, with scallops, we only use the jumbo size fret wire. If I want more fret options, then I need to choose none, and then I get all the fret options there. But let's continue on to, here's another good example. You have all these inlay options. If I choose scallops, I have very limited inlay options. So again, just another example of that conditional logic. So let's choose again, no scallops. And we'll keep on going. Where is it? What am I missing? There it is. So string nuts. Here I have Floyd rose. So say that you want a Floyd rose and you choose a vintage construction. You come all the way down here to string nuts. There is no Floyd rose nut option. Again, that is because you have to, we only do Floyd rose nuts on modern construction. So if you choose modern and come back down here, again, we have to refill out some of these because we've changed options. You come all the way down here. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Now you see again that we have the Floyd rose nut prep options, but only R2. That's because they're also dependent on nut width. So if I go and choose 1 11/16 and then come down here, now you're going to see I have other Floyd rose nut options, R3 and R4. If I come back up here and choose 1 3/4 and then come back down here, now I have R5. So you can see that the Floyd rose nuts that you are offered are dependent on the construction that you choose and the nut width that you choose. So there's those. I'm trying to think of some other examples. I have another example. Let's say that you want a 7 1/4 vintage radius, fretboard radius, and you might choose a modern construction and then come here and say, I want 7 1/4 radius, but it's not showing up. Why isn't that showing up? Well, that's because we only offer 7 1/4 inch radius on vintage construction. So if you choose vintage construction and then come back down here to radius, where is it? Now you will see 7 1/4 vintage radius. If you go back and switch the construction again to something else, you see that it has now disappeared and you have to reselect it. So those are I think those are some of the major examples that we often get asked about. And that is it. Those are my tips for navigating the custom builders on the Warmoth site. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't cover, but hopefully, the understanding of how they're built and that they use conditional logic will be enough to help you find your way. Usually if there's something that you're pretty sure that we offer and you can't find it, the reason it's not showing up is because of choices you made earlier in the process. So if you go back and revise those, you'll be able to find what you're looking for. Now, just as an FYI, when you are in the showcase, you get kind of a mini version of the custom builders. A lot of the choices have already been made, but whatever choices remain are also shown to you in a series of drop downs, and they also use conditional logic. So I hope that kind of takes some of the mystery out of it. If you have any more questions, you can always go through the builders on the Warmoth website and build all kinds of dream bodies and dream necks and discover its mysteries for yourself. You can call our customer service reps or send them an email. They're always eager to help. And until next time, keep on picking.